Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Antonio Brown coming back to the Buccaneers on a one-year deal worth up to $6.25 million. Millie, I can't believe it. We finally got him back. There wasn't a whole lot of teams that were interested. $2 million signing bonus. Your boy is happy. Bringing the band back together. This is very exciting for me. I know a lot of y'all don't like AB. But I'll tell you what, let's fucking run it back. You end up getting guys like Scotty Miller, all right, Scotty Too Hotty. We can throw him at the third wide receiver position. You can throw Tyler Johnson in the third wide receiver position. We can also think about Julian Edelman. I mean, I know he retired and all, but you never know. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers not only return all 11 starters on offense, all 11 starters on defense, the fucking kicker, Ryan Suckup, and then you get your third string wide receiver and fly like a butterfly, sting like AB. I am fucking excited, and it really makes it all come together. We are really trying to go for two. Now, the Kansas City Chiefs have definitely revamped their offensive line, and it's not going to be easy. But based on paper and what we see on paper, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are the team to beat, all right, with the Kansas City Chiefs right there waiting in the wings. So I'm excited. So I'll acknowledge everybody in the room. We want to discuss AB re-signing with my Bucs with a one-year deal. So excited. And the thing is a lot of people think AB is old. They think he's washed up. But a third option or fourth option wide receiver with the chemistry with Tom Brady, and just in case Mike Evans or Chris Godwin goes down with an injury. So that way if we have Scotty Miller, all right, if we have AB and we have Tyler Johnson, I am excited at this point to be able to move forward and think, okay, we got our guy. And I knew eventually he was going to sign. I am excited. I can't believe it. Wide receiver Antonio Brown, all right, fly like a butterfly, sting like AB, re-signs with my Buccaneers on a one-year deal worth up to $6.25 million. I can't believe it. All right, we re-signed him. It doesn't have to be anything long-term. We're just trying to maximize Brady's window with my Buccaneers. So we returned all 11 starters on offense, all 11 starters on defense. We even brought back the fucking kicker, Ryan Suckup. Now we bring back fucking AB, and I know all y'all fans that aren't Buccaneer fans are pissed. You're mad, but hey, I need to maximize my window. And, since being shitty since 2007 with the Jameis Winston era and then getting to move forward with Brady and Gronk, but more importantly, Bruce Arians, all right, moving forward not only with Bruce Arians, but Byron Leftwich and our guy Todd Bowles at the D coordinator position. So this is very exciting for me. I want to discuss not only AB coming back for one more year, which I was just hoping and praying that it was going to happen. Maybe Russell Wilson, Danger Russ wanted him, but you got to go somewhere where you're going to have stability, where they're going to hold you accountable, and Bruce Arians and Tom Brady are legit the only spot. So I am very, very excited to see where it goes, and maybe Edelman will come back too. Hey, the rich get richer, and like I said, you got to think, if you're a Saints fan or you're a team, that has been winning championships, or if you've been good year in and year out, you don't know what it's like to be me, a Buccaneers fan, until this year where we finally got it done. And I also want to discuss Teddy Two Gloves, Teddy Bridgewater. We remember when he was on the New Orleans Saints and you thought, hey, maybe he could be worth, like a second-round pick, third-round pick. And then you see the news today, he goes for a sixth-round pick to the Denver Broncos to compete with Drew Lock. Who would I want to start on the Denver Broncos between Teddy Bridgewater and Drew Lock? Fucking neither of them. Both of them, I don't want to say are trash, but they're just kind of game managers. All right, they're not going to really be anybody that's going to win you a playoff game, in my opinion. They're a guy that could come in for a guy that gets injured, like Teddy did for Drew Brees. But do you really feel comfortable, right, saying Teddy Bridgewater is my quarterback? No, fuck no. You would rather get a Trey Lance, a Justin Fields, right, a Mac Jones possibly. You would rather take a chance because you're not going to get Zach Wilson and you're not going to end up getting Trevor Lawrence. But if Justin Fields is available, all right, or if Trey Lance is available, I would probably go that route. Like Locke has some potential, right? He's raw, right? Teddy Bridgewater has some potential, but, Teddy likes to check down a lot, all right? So I want to acknowledge everybody in the room. I appreciate every single one of y'all. The NFL Draft 2021, spectacular, the extravaganza, All right, it's going to be tomorrow. I'm going to be live streaming. I'm going to work a long day, 8 or 9 hours. I'm going to drive home, and I should be able to get online at about 4:50 Pacific time, 4:55. So about 5 or 10 minutes before the draft. So come on in the room and join your boy, and we're going to watch the draft together. This is probably the most anticipation that I've had for an NFL draft, just based on what the Niners are going to do at 3. And what if we get surprised and Justin Fields goes 2 instead of Zach Wilson? Not likely. All right, not likely, but can you imagine how the dominoes would fall? Then the San Francisco 49ers would be like, yeah, I'll take Zach Wilson, and then that would put them in a very good position to compete for the NFC West and maybe make a deep, deep run if they had Zach Wilson. And then if that doesn't happen, where do they go? Do they go Mac Jones? Do they go Justin Fields? Do they go Trey Lance? And I honestly think that with Mac Jones, he's either going to be more than likely on the Niners or the Patriots. And that's a good spot if you're Mac Jones. You're going to a team, either one, the Niners or the Patriots. That's 2 of the better destinations to go to as a rookie quarterback. Bill Belichick, Josh McDaniels, yes, please, with all those weapons, even if Cam Newton is there. Or you go to a team like the Niners who run the football. They got Deebo Samuel. They got a lot of weapons like George Kittle and a few others, Ayuk, and a great monster defense. So don't be surprised if the Niners make the playoffs this season. So it's very exciting to see where it goes. I'm not really sure if I like the Teddy Bridgewater move to Denver, because more than likely, you're going to be looking at another quarterback. But if they don't get Trey Lance and they don't get Justin Fields and Mac Jones, and then Zach Wilson's gone, Trevor Lawrence, all those guys are gone by the time Denver picks. I mean, do you really feel comfortable if you're a Bronco fan with either one of those guys in the same division with Justin Herbert, Jay Herb, my boy from the 503 here in Eugene, Oregon? All right, you don't feel comfortable. Even the Raiders might be able to knock you off. You might be 4th, right, in the AFC West. That's not a good look. All right, moving forward. So 6th-round pick isn't a lot of compensation. Now, if they would have given a 2nd or 3rd or 4th, that's something else. But a lot of people think that, hey, the Denver Broncos might be looking at quarterback. But now with this move, maybe they'll take a step back and think Drew Lock and Teddy Bridgewater are good enough. I hope not, because they definitely need a Justin Fields, a Trey Lance to be able to get that program back to where it was. And that's big facts. Tyshawn Mullins in the building, what it do? Michael in the building, what it do? Tyshawn Mullins says, yo, what it do? Michael, let's go Bucks. Let's fucking run it back, baby. Go Bucks, baby. No Clan Jolly, disrespectful to Teddy. Well, you're just saying that because you're a Saints fan. And then you say, fuck AB, no one likes him. Sorry, Orion. You don't like him. I do. I'm Champa Bay. All right, we won the fucking Super Bowl. So a lot of Saints fans want to be fucking salty, all right? Thinking that you still own the division. You had your chance. You didn't get it done. Now you're going to have to rebuild. But with that being said, if you take a step back and have a bad season, and maybe the Panthers play better than you, and then you end up getting a top 8 pick, maybe that's better when you can find the next Drew Brees instead of being a team that's hovering around 500 with Jameis Winston. Now, Jameis could get you to the playoffs, but I'm not really thinking that he's the guy that's going to lead you guys long-term to compete. Yes, you guys have AK-41. Yes, you have Michael Thomas, but you have no Emmanuel Sanders. You have no Jared Cook. The offensive line is great. The running back situation with AK-41, the alien, Alvin Kamara, is great. Sean Payton is great. All right, but the wide receiving core, you got to figure it out. Tight end, you got to figure it out. Offensive line, for the most part, is one of the best in the league. Facts. I'll give them props because I don't have to hate like a lot of y'all other people do. All right, defense, overall, is pretty fucking good. I can't say it's great because you lost a lot of pieces. Sheldon Rankins, Jenkins on the back end, T-Rex. So there's holes to fill. But maybe having a bad season for 1 year and then moving forward with your franchise QB could really pay dividends for the next maybe 4 to 10 years, depending on how the season goes. Because if you hover around 500, you can still trade up and get your guy next year. And there's going to be some great quarterbacks, but we'll have to wait and see. Joshua Baratheon read this title as resign and not resign. I'm excited, baby. Odin Childs, I don't give a shit about AB, bro. Of course you don't. Chiefs Kingdom in the building. But guess what? If we end up playing you guys in the Super Bowl again, he might be the reason that we end up beating y'all again. Odin Child, your Chiefs Kingdom, your team looks great. It's pretty much the Chiefs and the Bucs and everybody else. But I'll tell you what, AB was suspended for the first 8 games, and I'll tell you what, for an insurance policy, to be able to have a guy that can come in for Mike Evans, a guy that can come in for Chris Godwin, a guy that can come in for Tyler Johnson, or maybe my guy, Scotty Miller, Scotty Tuhati, you never know when you might need that depth. and I'm still bringing the whole band back, baby. Woo! I'm bringing the whole band back, baby. NWSF Chain Gang in the building. So we'll see where it goes. But I am very excited. It was the last piece, the last fucking piece that we were waiting on before we end up moving forward into this NFL draft and this extravaganza that I'm going to be doing tomorrow. Wide receiver Antonio Brown resigns with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with a 1-year deal. We also go over Teddy Bridgewater getting traded to the Broncos. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Comment below. A lot of y'all that aren't Bucs fans, of course, are going to hate on AB. But let's not forget, from 2011 to 2016, 2017, this guy was one of the best wide receivers in the league. All right, he was, competing with Julio Jones, and with the records that he was putting up, this guy might not be able to make the Hall of Fame based off his off-the-field troubles. And I usually don't like guys that get in trouble off the field, a.k.a. Jameis Winston. But for a guy that if he's able to get his shit together, he's a real big asset at this point, especially if he's my third option wide receiver, especially we don't know how long Chris Godwin is going to be on the Buccaneers. I'm hoping that he'll be there for his career, but I'm willing to take the sacrifices as long as he stays in line, and it's going to bring me that much closer to go for 2 and maybe go for 3. I know that kind of sounds crazy, but if we can keep returning all these guys, I know the Chiefs are going to be right there. All right, I know the Rams are going to be right there. The Buffalo Bills, if they end up getting Najee Harris or maybe ETN, might be right there. But at this point, I'm excited for the Bucs' future for the first time in a long, long time, and especially for being a fan since 95. Not a lot of y'all know what that's like to root for a team that wins 0 games, 1 game, 2 games, 3 games, 4 games a year until last season. So it feels very, very good. Trayvon Dixon, honestly feel bad for Teddy B. Well, he's a journeyman. He's going to be a guy that's going to bounce around from team to team, but he's not good enough to be your starting QB in the NFL. He's like a Marcus Mariota. He's a guy that you can plug in, but and I'm a Ducks guy, all right? But Jameis Winston might be going down that path very soon. Mitchell Trubisky, backing up Josh Allen. He may never be a starter ever again. This league is harsh, but, as far as if your favorite team had Teddy full-time, it doesn't matter if you have a relationship with him being a Vikings fan, a Saints fan, a Panthers fan. He is, bottom line, not good enough to lead your team to a Super Bowl and win. Bottom line, it's not going to happen. You know what I mean? He's a good game manager. He's a good filler, all right, for someone that gets injured like Drew Brees, but it's not going to be good enough to be able to win a championship, in my opinion, with Teddy Bridgewater. And I'm not sure if he's even better than Drew Lock at this point. Drew Lock probably has more potential than Teddy Bridgewater. I mean, Teddy can be checked down Teddy two gloves, but you got to be able to throw it deep to be able to win games in the NFL. No risk it, no biscuit, like B.A. said, and it ended up happening just like that. Odin's child, but congrats. And he said, realize we have witnessed multiple eras changing retirement. Hey, all I need now is Julian Edelman to come back, baby. If I get Julian Edelman to come out of retirement, oh, baby. You guys got the offensive line, and it's going to be very tough to beat the Chiefs in the AFC. But if anyone plays them in the Super Bowl and I got the same squad and I'm healthy, I like my chances. The game won't be a blowout like it was last season in the Super Bowl. It'll probably go down to the wire. But I would like my chances as a Bucs fan if we end up getting that rematch. And if we lose, I'm not going to cry about it. I'm just trying to maximize this window while the team is good and has this depth. And can you imagine in the draft tomorrow with the 32nd pick in the NFL draft, if I get Najee Harris, game fucking over. I know you got Clyde Edwards-Helaire, make him stare Helaire, and that was big for you guys. Can you imagine if I get Najee Harris? I already got Giovanni Bernard, I already got Rojo, I got Leonard Fournette, right? Lombardi Lenny. It might be over at that point because those other guys are only going to be there for 1-year deals and moving forward. But if I get Najee Harris at 32, if the Steelers pass, which they might, all right, if the Jets pass on ETN and Najee Harris and the Steelers pass and go offensive line, which is more important, there is a chance the Buccaneers might say, fuck it, he's right there, let's grab him, and then the whole league is in fucking trouble. I'll tell you that because that's the closest thing to a Saquon Barkley that we have in this draft. Hands down. ETN is a great pass catcher, and I love him. And I'll go over some sleepers that I have in this draft, too, that I have on offense and defense before the video is over. But you guys better fucking pray tomorrow when we watch the draft with the last pick in the draft. If Najee Harris is there, the Buccaneers are going to take him, and I'm going to jump out the fucking window, and I'm going to be laughing all the way to the fucking bank. You guys better pray, as far as fans that are not the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, that we don't get Najee Harris. Because if we do, and we get that 4 horsemen, Rojo, Lombardi Lenny, Giovanni Bernard, that was the one, kind of guy that we needed, a possession receiver. We took care of that need. Boom, get Najee Harris, get someone to replace JPP in the second round as a pass rusher. It might be over. I mean, I'm not saying that we're going to be good for a long, long time, but for this short window, I like the Chiefs' chances and the Bucs' chances to keep playing very good football for quite some time, as long as we can keep the band together, and that's big facts. Let's see here. Odin Child says, congrats. Appreciate that. Memopolis, everyone's back, baby. I know, and I'm so excited as far as being a Buccaneers fan. Not a lot of teams had interest in AB, and you can still talk shit all you want. He ended up getting a touchdown in the Super Bowl, and he was actually the 16th best in Pro Football Focus numbers last season based on only playing a limited schedule. And if I can get him full-time, it wouldn't surprise me if he cracks 1,000 yards in the season and gets close to double-digit touchdowns. I mean, that's big facts, and that's for a guy that's a little bit older, and just saying like Julian Edelman, if we end up getting him to come through, you never fucking know. Beefy Mick, what now? Let's go, baby. What a do? Let's go, baby. No base Rizel. Let's go, baby. How you doing, man? What's good? What's good? He said, we all do. It's fam for a lot of us. Absolutely. The Panthers did Teddy dirty. Well, you know what I mean? If they ended up getting a 6th-round pick for him, it's just kind of crazy. A couple years ago, he was worth maybe 2nd or 3rd round, or maybe late 1st-round potential, right, when they went to the Panthers from the Saints. Now, he's a 6th-round pick, and then one bad year, this motherfucker might be on the bench for the rest of his career, and I do feel bad for him. But I'll tell you what, if Teddy wanted to come as Tom Brady's backup, would I take him? You goddamn right I would. I would take him, but he has limitations. So he's not good enough to be a starter in this league anymore, in my opinion. But is Drew Lock good enough to be a starter in this league? We can maybe give him another year to see where it goes. All right, to give him another year to see where it goes. But I'm not sure if Drew Lock is the guy. He doesn't really give me the man. He's the it guy. He doesn't give me those feels and those vibes moving forward. And that's big facts. I said, I'd want him as my starter, but I have Brett Veach, Andy Reid, Patrick, CEH, LDT. I feel you, Odin's child. I feel you. The Saints should have kept Teddy Two Gloves. Well, they couldn't afford Teddy Two Gloves, right? Drew Brees, Taysom Hill, and that was pre-Jameis Winston, so they couldn't afford him. And I'll tell you what, if I was the Saints and I had a choice between Teddy Two Gloves and Jameis Winston, I would go Teddy Two Gloves because he's not going to turn the ball over. Of course, Jameis has got the arm, right? But he's got too many antics. He's too much of a personality. He's probably going to get in trouble off the field again, more than likely. I mean, good luck to you guys, with how he does for your team. But I'll tell you what, on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Florida State, he's straight trash, homie. And I'm so happy that we got rid of his ass. And it showed you how good my Buccaneers team was when I had him. Because you replaced him and a few other draft picks. Tristan Wirfs, obviously they're at tackle. Antoine Winfield Jr. on the back end. I didn't have essentially the same team, but a good chunk of that roster. And he could barely end up winning 4, 5, 6, 7 games. You have to get Tom Brady, insert him and the great coaching staff. You don't turn over the fucking football. You don't throw fucking 30 interceptions. You end up getting to the Super Bowl and fucking winning and making my dreams come true, all right? I love AB too, cash out. I don't give a shit what anyone says, all right? He's the one guy, all right, based on if his career didn't take that hit, first ballot Hall of Fame, but he got in trouble, went fucking crazy. I had some of these allegations off the field, and I don't like that shit. Let's just make that very, very clear right now. I don't like it. I don't care if you're white, black, Mexican, Asian, no matter what race you are. If you get in trouble off the field, I don't like that. That's not a good look. It's a black eye to the organization, period, okay? AB as a football player, when he's on his game, he is one of the better wide receivers. I would probably say top 25 wide receivers in the league, even right now at his age, because he's one of those guys that can run good routes, all right? He can end up having good hands. He's a good red zone target, all right? He's a guy that I would love to have on the roster, and we got him. I love AB, you know what I mean? And the thing is, with the Steelers, with Le'Veon, Big Ben, Antonio Brown, it seems like they should have won a Super Bowl with that roster, but they just couldn't get it done, all right? They couldn't get it done. But Big Ben got his. All right, Le'Veon tried to get his. All right, AB got his. All right, so it all comes full circle. It might not be on that original team, but I'm telling you, the impact that AB is going to have on my roster is not just being the third option with Scotty Too Hottie Miller, all right, but if those other guys go down, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, to have the backups of Scotty Too Hottie, AB, hopefully Julian Edelman, and then Tyler Johnson, the rookie from last year from Minnesota. It gives me depth, and that's what we need. And we might even draft another wide receiver moving forward. So AB going to the Bucs for a 1-year deal. I absolutely fucking love it. 2 thumbs up. Teddy Bridgewater obviously going to the Denver Broncos. I absolutely hate it. All right. But it does give you someone that can back up Drew Lock. But I'm hoping that Justin Fields or Trey Lance is available, because that's the guy that you would want to roll with over these two guys. So we'll have to see if Drew Lock will be on the trading block. We'll see if Jimmy Garoppolo will be on the trading block. We'll see what Sam Darnold does. But getting rid of Teddy, obviously we know Sam Darnold is going to be the guy. And I don't think that they're going to end up going for a quarterback, even if Justin Fields or Trey Lance is there. The Panthers need to go for corner. Jeremy Chin is fire, all right? Brian Spider Burns is fire. I'm a Bucs fan, but I see the potential in the Panthers, so it's okay that you let Teddy go. I'm not sure if you're going to get anybody good with the 6th-round pick, for compensation of Teddy Two Gloves, all right? But I know if you pick corner and you get Patrick Surtain a second, or you get J.C. Horn, depending on if the Panthers go corner, which they should. You got the Dallas Cowboys wanting the other corner, or the Philadelphia Eagles, unless they want to go wide receiver like Devontae Smith. So I'm very excited to see where it goes, but I'm just like you, Cash Out. I love AB, and I don't give a fuck what anyone thinks. He's going to help me get to another Super Bowl, and that's big facts. Memopolis, he's all right, hella hyper. Damn right, I bring the energy. Cash, hold the transition. Said Chiefs were gunning for AB. I don't doubt. I think a lot of teams were. And then we know Julio might be on the market as well, but you might not be able to get him, to that point till June 1st. So we're going to have to see where it goes. Nola, I swear to God, bro, you need to read and watch film. You are so brainwashed by the Saints media in the NO, all right? You don't need Teddy? Of course you need Teddy. Teddy would be a better backup than Taysom Hill. You want Taysom Hill to do the Swiss Army knife role, all right? And then you're telling me that AB's not good. If AB had the same role on your guys' team, being the number 2 wide receiver with Michael Thomas, you don't think that he'd put up stats? You need to watch film. Sometimes the shit that you say, all right, I know you're trolling 95% of the time, but I swear, bro, you don't know football. You're brainwashed by Saints football and how good the Saints are. You're not winning the division this year. You guys had your run. That's the bottom line, because O-Dog said so, all right? But if you guys have a bad year, draft a quarterback next year and find the guy that's not Jameis Winston, that's not Taysom Hill, that's not Teddy Two Gloves, then you guys can get back to competing with the Bucs and taking over the division again once Brady retires. That's facts. You guys got a great running back, great offensive line, you got great defense, great head coach, all right? But you got to be realistic. You're not going to be the top dog forever. Every great team has a window for about 4 to 5 years. Legion of Boom, 4 to 5 years. That Niner team with Navarro Bowman, Patrick Willis, Colin Kaepernick, 4 to 5 years. You're not going to maintain the excellence for 10 years, 15 years. It just doesn't happen unless you're the New England Patriots, which is an anomaly. It just doesn't fucking happen. But to think that the Saints wouldn't be good, bringing back a Teddy Two Gloves, he would be better than Jameis Winston, in my opinion, because he's not going to turn the football over, and you have a better chance of winning 9, 10, 11 games with Teddy, with the current roster that you have, than injury-prone and turnover-prone Jameis Winston. All right, we'll see how those eyes end up working for him, and if he throws to the other team. I know he can throw the deep ball, but I have no confidence in Jameis Winston, and that's big facts. So, maybe do some research, my guy. You know what I mean? Do some research. Watch some film. All right, don't get brainwashed from anything that you see on ESPN and NFL.com. Make your own judgment. Make your own calls. Instead of just believing what someone says in your local media and then you believe it. Come on, Nola. You can be better. Be better, Nola. Odin's Child in the building. Najee Harris is way better than Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Agreed. But Helaire, is a stud, and then you got a guy like Etienne that might be a Jamal Charles. But I'm not saying that Clyde Edwards-Helaire is that much worse than Najee Harris, because we can't say that, because look at this revamped offensive line. Clyde Edwards-Helaire could make a Pro Bowl next year. I mean, they're going to probably go through a couple different running backs, split time. But with that revamped offensive line, Joe Tooney, all right, Orlando Brown on the left side, right? Laurent Duvernay-Tardif coming back, right? Kyle Long coming over. I mean, who's to say that Clyde Edwards-Helaire doesn't break out and have an amazing season that he should have had last year? Started off the first week 1, amazing. But then he kind of fluttered off, had some injuries, right? They split time. I still love Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and we have to make sure that Najee Harris is going to stay healthy, all right? But Helaire could have an amazing season, and that's big facts. Cash out hybrid. No, he better than your QB. Damn right he is. TG Tez, what's up? What it do? Odin Child. He's been a Chiefs fan for 20 plus years. Damn right, man. Let him know. And anyone that thinks that I've been a Bucs fan since last season, get the fuck out of here. If you guys have been on the channel since 2017, I've been grinding, doing this for, since 2012? 9 years in, all right? You know what I mean? And I've been a fan since 1995, all right? It's funny when I see these people thinking I'm a fucking bandwagon Bucs fan. I'm actually probably the only real NWSF chain gang member on planet Earth, all right? I'm the only real Bucs fan that's really been loyal to the soil, even when we had bum-ass Jameis Winston, because you remember 2017, horrible, 2018, horrible, 2019, horrible, and then we had last year, all right? And that's just on YouTube, all right? And that's big facts. Anything can change as long as you're loyal to the soil with your team, and that's big facts. Let's see, Adventures with AG, what to do. Sarah Small, I'm happy, no-brainer. Given Nelson option, 5th year is amazing. I want to talk about that as well. The best offensive lineman in football, Quentin Nelson. 5th year option, no-brainer. Vita Vea, 5th year option, no-brainer. It's great to be able to have these studs on the offensive line and defensive line. These are my favorite positions in football. Linebacker, safety, corner, edge rusher, D tackle, and offensive line. All of y'all, quarterback, wide receiver, running back, tight end. No, not your boy. All right, defense first, leadership first, decleating hits first, knock the fucking snot out of your nose first, pick 6 first, fumble for a touchdown first, special teams touchdowns first, and in great offensive line play, pancakes for days. That's what I like. And that's a big fact. Bang! Beefy McWhat now. Bang, 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 bang. $5. My boy, let's go Bucs. Repeat, baby. Let's go. Go Bucs, dude. Buck Nation in the building. For all the haters out there. It's not looking good. If you're a Buccaneer fan, it's great right now. You're on cloud 9. If you're a Chiefs fan, you're on cloud 9 because you have more long-term stability than the Bucs. After Tom Brady retires, Patrick Mahomes will still be there, and they're still going to be the top dog in the AFC and the NFL for years to come. All right, so even though they lost to Tampa in this last Super Bowl, don't you even think for a fucking second that the Chiefs' kingdom is done. They are got a lot more Super Bowls left in the tank, and that's big facts, all right? And then if you're the Rams, you're feeling pretty good right now, too. It's probably the 3rd best team in the NFL right now based off paper because you got Matthew Stafford. And I'll tell you what, if the Bucs play the Rams in the NFC Championship game or earlier in the playoffs, the Buccaneers could lose. Even with the same roster that I have, they're that fucking good. Aaron Donald's a beast, Jalen Ramsey's a beast, and Stafford, let's not get it twisted, maybe the most underrated quarterback of all time. For a guy that is Hall of Fame worthy. All right, not an Eli Manning, borderline, a Phillip Rivers, maybe borderline. We're talking Matthew Stafford has never had a running game until last season or maybe the year before, when they started getting Swift and Adrian Peterson. They didn't really have a nice running game. Never have had an O-line, never have had a defense, never have had anything. Wide receiving core has probably been the best thing that they've had, and then maybe a tight end here and there as of late. All right, but as far as really having the full package of, OC, DC, head coach, GM, all right, defense, depth, special teams, offensive line, running game, he's never had anything. Now you're going to a team led with Cam Akers, you got Cooper Kupp, best friend, you got a lot working there, and I wouldn't be shocked one bit if we get Rams-Chiefs in the Super Bowl. I'm hoping we get Rams-Buccaneers NFC Championship game, and if we lose, hey, so be it, but I know that will be must-see TV, and I'm hoping we get Chiefs and Bills again, unless we get another team to come out of nowhere like the Browns or maybe someone else that we're not anticipating. But I'm very excited to see where it goes. And that's big facts. Beefy McWhat now, my boy, baby. Let's go Bucs. Dylan W26 in the building. FN2187, Casey had no O-line. Of course they didn't, but it shows you how important O-line is. All right, so you were looking at Eichenberg, and that would have been a guy from Notre Dame's offensive line that would have fit perfectly. But now you get a guy like Orlando Brown, all right, paired up with Joe Thuney from the Patriots. Are you fucking kidding me? You even get Kyle Long to come out of retirement. Now you're starting to realize, yes, it's important to have, Tyreek the Freak Hill and Travis Kelce, and to have these guys like McCole Hardman, right, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Patrick Mahomes, but it don't mean shit if the D-line on the other side and the linebackers are studs like Tampa Bay's. So if you get someone that can rush the passer, even if it's the best quarterback in the league, Patrick Mahomes, we would have did the same thing to Russell Wilson or Aaron Rodgers. You need to have an O-line to give you more time, and now they addressed it, and I think the league should be scared. I mean, if you're not scared of the Bucs and Chiefs or the Rams going into next season, you should be, because those are the 3 best teams right now right now moving forward. And that's big facts. All right, let's go. All right. Webb's in the building. Odin's Child in the building. What it do? Said, Orion, we got a lot of holes. Tess, you do. You do. At least you're admitting, like some Saints fans, they're trying to tell me that they're going to win the division. It's all trolling. You know what I mean? Let's be realistic. You're going to have probably a rough year. The Panthers could surpass you. You could get third, probably still beat the Falcons, but it's not a bad thing. For being someone that's been the bad team from time to time, all right? Let the team see what they can get out of Jameis. He's not the long-term answer. You don't want Taysom as a full-time quarterback either. Let him do his role, all right? Let him do his role at what he does best, the Swiss Army knife, where he can play wide receiver, tight end, running back, special teams. You just need someone better. Imagine if you had your Justin Fields on that roster. I could just see so many W's coming out of that team. Trey Lance, so many W's. So just wait and see what ends up happening. But the team that you got right now, it's a rebuilding year. And it doesn't help that you lost Jenkins, you lost Sheldon Rankins, Mr. Shimmy and Mr. Shake, T-Rex. So you guys have a lot more holes, as well as Emmanuel Sanders, Jared Cook. It's not like you guys are returning the same fucking roster like I have going into 2021. But I still think that you guys can win games. And that's big facts. TG Ted Jameis Winston, decent and trash at the same time. He's the type of dude to throw 5 picks and 5 touchdowns in the same game. Agreed. And his eyes are better. And you got good weapons, in the NO. All right, AK-41 is arguably the best running back in the league. Some people want to say Derrick Henry, but if you look at his stats, receiving the football, running through the guards, the tackles, and doing everything as an all-around back, Derrick Henry is the Mike Allstott power back. I get it, right? But if you're looking for that all-around back, yeah, there's Saquon Barkley, and there's Zeke Elliott and all these other guys, but it's hard to press. As me as a Bucs fan, AK-41 is my favorite running back that's not on my Buccaneers. You're never going to hear another fucking Buck fan say that, but I really respect the guy. He's the best player on your team. Period. If you look at the wide receiving core, Michael Thomas was great, but we need to see if he can do it past the injury. He was the number 1 wide receiver a couple years ago. But can he get back into that top 5 status? I believe he can, but you got Jameis Winston throwing to you, not Drew Brees, so his production's probably going to go down. Let's be honest, okay? But AK-41, it doesn't matter if Jameis Winston's the quarterback, all right? It doesn't matter if Teddy Two Gloves is the quarterback, Taysom Hill, or even Sean Payton goes back under center and he's quarterback. AK-41 is going to get his, all right, regardless, because he's that fucking good. The alien. Big facts. Much respect, much love. So that's why you're not going to really see the same takes as someone that is just a biased Bucs fan. I give love to every single person who's dominant in this league, even if they're against my rival, the New Orleans Saints. Love AB. I am no casual Bucs fan. No sirree. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is behind a real line. I'm excited to see where that goes. That's big facts. So been here when he sat next to, what his name? Ruiz, LA Rams. What it do, baby? Just talking about your Rams, man. I'm so excited for next season. Still want Notre Dame guys. Odin's Child, I know you do. I'm going to go over some sleepers as well. Ruiz said, I ain't scared of no Bucs, but let's be honest. You are. You know what I mean? Your Rams got Stafford. You got to be confident. But let's look at the roster. We brought back all the coaches. We even brought back Ryan Suckup. You bring back AB. We've never seen a team since 1979, bring back literally everyone after winning the Super Bowl. And then if anyone can compete with us, it's you. It's the Rams in the NFC. But like I said, just because you got Stafford, Cam Akers, I'm not sure. You got Jalen Ramsey stud, right? Aaron Donald stud, but what about the others? What about the others? What about the other role players besides the 2 studs on defense and then the known guys, the running backs, the wide receivers, and obviously Stafford. He's going to be able to make all the running backs, wide receivers, and tight ends better. Stafford will. McVay's great. Let's not get it twisted. Sean McVay's my second favorite coach in the league right now. That's not BA. Right, number 1's Kyle Shanahan, number 2, Sean McVay. That's who I would want to coach my Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So you can say you're not scared of the Bucs, but we're coming, and we're trying to go for 2, and that's big facts. Let's see here. Chiefs are done. Bambi Mahomes, John Roberts, Bills Mafia in the building. What a do. Can't wait to see what the Bills do. Hope you guys end up getting a guy like ETN or Najee Harris, but it doesn't look like you're going to be going that route. Probably the Buccaneers, the Steelers, the Jets are going to be looking at those running backs, but that's what you guys need. The Bills need some studs at running back. Offensive line, get some more depth. Wide receivers, we saw what we got with Diggs. Josh Allen's getting better and better after every single season. Defense is nice. McDermott is nice. Special teams is nice. It's just a matter of time until the Bills knock off the Chiefs or get very, very close. I know it's just a matter of time. So the Bills are in a very, very good position. But what the Chiefs did with that offensive line, though, it's not looking good, man. On paper, it's not looking good. Chiefs and Bucs look like the two best teams in the NFL by a long shot, with the Rams right up there with them, and then there'll be some other ones there also. Stafford, top 5 fave. Love him. I loved him at Georgia. I loved him on Detroit. Thank God he got the fuck out of there. And like I said, we can finally understand that Jared Goff and the Goffense, you can get to a Super Bowl, right, just like Jimmy Garoppolo, but you got to be better than average when you get there, all right? Goff can get you there. Garoppolo can get you there, but to win it, right, I'm not saying they have to be Brady. They have to be Mahomes, but you got to be a little bit better than that. And Stafford has a chance to win a Super Bowl before his career is over, and I absolutely love it. Tess in the building, Odin's Child in the building, John Roberts in the building, Cash Out Hybrid in the building. Said, look, I can't stand that the Bucs are this good, but I can't hate or say that Brady cheated. A lot of people will, like young Nola will. You know, he'll say that the league is rigged and a bunch of cheating. It's just that you're sour that, you know, you had your window and you didn't cash out, you know what I mean? You got guys like that, you didn't cash in. You got to take advantage when the iron is hot, you know, and sometimes shit happens. And I'm not saying that the Patriots are not guilty of doing some wrongdoing, or even Tom Brady. That's facts. You know, that definitely happened. But, you know, I think it's more really Bill Belichick was kind of the mastermind. Maybe Brady knew about Deflategate and all, but I like the chances, you know, going next year, and that's big facts. And that is big facts. Calvin Griffin in the building. Let's go, baby. What it do? You are, though. You really honestly believe that the league is rigged and everything is Brady favored, this and that. Get the fuck out of here. It was more than just Brady and Gronk and AB. It's coaching. Millions don't say it. Only jaded people like you, a jaded Saints fan's going to say it because you guys got screwed against the Rams and you can't fucking get over about it. You can't get over it. You can't get over it. So every single little thing that fucking happens to you, you got to cry about it and say that someone cheated instead of giving me props and giving us props for winning and overcoming and being bad. You got to make up some fucking fake bullshit, all right, because you can't handle the fact that you guys got cheated in that game and the league is against you and everything is rigged. Get the fuck out of here, man. This ain't like in the NBA where you had the ref rigging the games and then he ended up going to jail. Of course, there might be questionable things that happen in each game, all right? But you got to think, there's cheating in every fucking game because there's holding on every fucking play. If they wanted to call a penalty on every fucking play, they could, all right? Let's go over that real quick. I mean, there's holding on every single fucking play. But the reason that you fucking say it is that you're fucking jaded. All right? Get over it. Your team lost. You couldn't do it. And it took me 6 months to get a team built together with the last 2 or 3 drafts. But what also I want to say, you guys aren't that far off from being able to get back into that elite status. You just need to find your QB. But you don't got one right now in Jameis Winston. You need to get someone that's better, a Matthew Stafford-ish kind of player. And let's not get it twisted, all right? If Drew Brees would have retired, guess where Tom Brady's first spot was going to be? The New Orleans Saints. But guess what, Nola? I bet you didn't know that because you don't fucking read, all right? You don't do your research, all right? Tom Brady would have went to the Saints if Drew Brees would have retired last season. That was his number 1 destination, Tampa Bay number 2. But then Drew Brees was injured all season, all right, and you didn't end up getting the results that you wanted, all right? But we got the NFL Draft Extravaganza that's going to be tomorrow. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. NWSF Chain Gang in the building. I can't fucking wait. Bang! $20 for life. New world order for life, brother. Let's go. Chiefs, Devils, Fighting Irish. My guy, $20. Odin's Child, always repping the channel. Man, baby. Calvin Griffin, I love you, man. Tess, I love you too, because you guys are the only realistic, besides Six Ink, Saints fans. You'll call it just like I do. No fucking bias. You know when your team is good. You know when your team is not good. All right, that's bottom line, and I can respect that, all right? When we get people like Nola, we need to educate people like that. Just because you're from the NO, just because you live in Nolens, doesn't mean you have to have this blind loyalty and thinking that you're better than you really are, all right? And that's big facts. Appreciate you guys, because we got to be able to humble some of these people that are fucking delirious like young Nola. All right, young Nola trolls about 90% of the time, but deep down in his heart, I know that's how you really feel, Nola. You do think that you're better than Tampa Bay. You do think all of these things that aren't true. But you know what I mean? You can't be someone, that's a crazy person. Well, I guess you could be, all right? But you got to be able to not be a casual fan, a bandwagon fan, all right? Be realistic. All right? I spit facts. I've never been biased. If my team sucks, you'll know it. If my team is good, you're going to know it. All right? And it's not like I'm like, oh, Tampa Bay is going to win the Super Bowl, because I didn't even know if they were going to be able to get that far and click into the playoffs last season. I thought the Chiefs were going to get there, but maybe another team would have gotten there, like the Rams or someone else. So a lot can change. But it's more than just Tom Brady that ended up helping me get the championship. It's the last 3 or 4 drafts. It's the coaching staff. And don't be underestimated of the fact that, oh, it's just the players. No, it's the coaching. If you have good coaching and a good GM and a good owner, that goes a long ways in your future. It's not just the guy who hikes the ball. It's not the guy who just throws the ball and the guys that tackle the offensive players. It goes a lot deeper. All right? That's big facts. Wide receiver Antonio Brown re-signs with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 1-year deal. Teddy Bridgewater, trade alert, goes to the Denver Broncos. Who's better, Teddy Bridgewater or Drew Lock? Neither. All right, who would I want to start on my football team? Neither. All right, and then we go over some sleepers that are in the upcoming draft as well. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash the fucking like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can, either on here, patreon.com/NWSF, or the GoFundMe. And if you're looking for merch, Northwest Sports Fanatic merch, link is below every video on the YouTube page. Follow me. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram at NW Sports Fanatics. What you know about the NWSF chain gang? Nola, you not real. You're delirious. You are not real. You still thought that Brady had a noodle arm, still ended up getting third in passing in yards. You're telling me how much better Drew Brees was. All right. Yes, he was injured last season. All right. And just because that's your hometown team, you're way biased. You can never give credit to someone else. And that's what happens. All right. You don't win the Super Bowl. Your boy does. And then you said 2007 LOL. Yeah. You're trying to say that as like talking shit. All right. So, yeah, I've been bad since 2007, but I constructed a team with free agents in 6 months and got farther than you when you guys had the best team in football in the NFC for the last 4 or 5 years. So before you talk shit, at least, come and think before what you say, all right? Think before what you say, because you guys were the best team in the NFC for 4 or 5 years straight, besides maybe the Eagles back in 2017. So, if we're talking Reggie Miller, little choke status, that's what happened. But I still think you guys can get back. Even though I'm a Bucs fan, I'm realistic. I love the players on your team, and I think you guys can get back to being that elite team again. But you got to find your signal caller, and it's not Jameis Winston, and it's not Taysom Hill. We obviously saw what we were going to get from both of those guys last season, and it's not good enough to live up to the Saints standard. Period. All right? And I'm a Bucs fan. Those guys are not good enough to live up to Drew Brees' shadow. You need someone like a Matthew Stafford or on that same type of level, or it's not going to fucking work. And that's big facts. Wide receiver Antonio Brown re-signs with the Bucs. Teddy Bridgewater goes to the Broncos. I hope Justin Fields or Trey Lance goes to the Broncos. Then you can have a 3-way duel. I can't wait to be able to see what happens in the draft tomorrow with the Niners at 3. Will they go Justin Fields? Trevor Lawrence 1, right? Zach Wilson 2, unless we get Justin Fields at 2, then everyone's head's going to spin. Then Zach Wilson falls into the lap of the Niners, and then you can lock in the Niners of going to the playoffs and being a very good team for a very, very long time. That's the worst thing that the Jets could do. Draft Justin Fields, let Zach Wilson drop to the Niners. Now the Niners are a top dog with the Bucs, all right, with the Rams, and with a lot of other teams like the Packers and a few others, especially with a guy with upside like Zach Wilson. But at the Niners at 3, Beefy McWuck now, bang, $5. Your boy calls it right down the middle. I always do, and I'm the only one on YouTube, I'm the only one on social media, podcasts, and TV that calls it right down the middle. I don't do shit for clickbait. I don't do shit for clicks. I don't do shit to argue, to see people fucking go back and forth like Skip and Shannon like a bunch of fucking idiots. All right, I call it right down the middle because a lot of y'all NFL fans need to hear it. All right, you're thinking it, but you never hear anyone really bottom line say it. All right, you got to be realistic with everything there. All right, and that is big facts. But I'm excited to see what happens. Is it going to be Justin Fields at 3 at the Niners? Is it going to be Mac Jones? Is it going to be Trey Lance? So we're going to definitely get to a point where we're going to have some excitement. So make sure you guys hop in. I'll do a notification in the morning for the No. The World Wide Web. The Northwest Sports Fanatics. Bang! Odin Child, $5. Let's go, baby. But we are going to be doing the extravaganza for the NFL Draft 2021. I'm going to be live at 4:55. I live about 15 minutes from my work, so I should get home around 4:45. Couple minutes to set up, and I should be ready right before 5 p.m. Pacific time. If I could get home earlier, I would, but I don't get off till 4:30, and normally that's when I would like to start the draft, is about 30 minutes before we start. The draft starts at 5 p.m. Pacific time, so I'm going to do the whole draft, the whole first round. I might not be able to do day 2 on Friday, the second and third round, but I'm going to do all 3 hours plus tomorrow, even if I have no rest. So it's bottom line, work 8 or 9 hours straight on my feet, working in the warehouse. Drive home like a fucking madman. Hopefully I don't run anyone over. All right. Hook the computer up, right? And then start live streaming for another 3.5 hours until the draft is over. And I can't wait to see if Najee Harris goes to my Buccaneers at 32. Because I know the Steelers need O-line. They don't need Najee Harris. They do and they don't. All right. They can get another running back later. All right. But if the Bucs get Najee Harris, that might be the overall most excitement you're going to see from me besides winning the goddamn Super Bowl. Because if we get Najee Harris, Giovanni Bernard's a 1-year deal, pass-catching running back. All right, Rojo might be just for another year or two, right? Lombardi Lenny, playoff Lenny, Leonard Fournette, might be just one more year. So if we get Najee Harris, I'll finally get my Josh Jacobs that I've been wanting for so long, my Jonathan Taylor that I've wanted for so long, that 3-down back, that young beast back in Josh Jacobs and Jonathan Taylor, Raiders. And obviously, as we know, with the Indianapolis Colts and Carson Wentz. I want mine. I want my Najee Harris. I'll take an ETN, but Najee Harris would fit better, and I can't wait to see if he slides. If he slides there at 32. Oh, man. I can't wait. It's going to be fire. Let's go over some sleepers as well, all right, because I want to bring up, and I'll do a little magic here, and we'll switch the screen. So we got AB going to my Bucs. We're returning all 22 starters, the kicker, the coaching staff, Todd Bowles, Byron Leftwich, BA. Everyone's coming back, and now we got AB. Let's go Bucs. Teddy Bridgewater for a 6th-rounder, right? The Panthers got Sam Darnold. I believe in him, and I think the Panthers will probably be better than the Saints, or they'll be neck and neck. And that's my honest feeling. I don't think the Saints are a bad team, but they're going to take a step back from maybe winning 11 or 12 games and maybe getting to a point where they're winning 8, 9, or 10. I hope that the Saints don't end up imploding and win like 3 or 4 or 5, and you're never going to hear a Bucs fan say that. They're going to say, I hope the fucking Saints lose all their games, and they go 0-17. You know what I mean? But if they end up getting their guy, they're too talented to lose every game or only win a couple. I'm a Bucs fan, but I'm not a fucking idiot and I'm not a hater. Offensive line, top 5, AK-41, the best running back in the NFL, not named Derrick Henry. Facts. I know Saquon's coming back, and he might have a great year, but if it's Saquon, Zeke, Derrick Henry, AK-41, give me AK-41. If that's one running back that can come to my Buccaneers, I'll take AK-41 with my very first pick at running back. And that's love. And I'm a Bucs fan. So if I was just a fucking, biased motherfucker, you know what I mean? Of course, I never would give credit to anybody in the NFC South. And there's guys like Jeremy Chin. Come over to the Tampa Bay Bucs. I'll take you. Brian Spider Burns. I'll take you. There's a lot of guys from each team. Calvin Ridley from the Falcons. Yeah, please. I'll take you. So it's all about me being a fan of all 32 teams with no fucking bias. I'm not a fucking idiot. AK-41, the best fucking all-around running back in the league. Stamp it, write it down, take some notes, put it on your fucking fridge. I'm jealous. I really am. I wish I had an AK-41, but maybe I'll get my Najee Harris. So Antonio Brown re-signs with the Bucs. Bridgewater goes to the Broncos. Who's better, Bridgewater or Drew Lock? Neither. All right? They're both backup quarterbacks in my eyes. I don't know who's better for that team. They're not going to the playoffs next year. The Broncos aren't going to even smell the playoffs. They might not even beat the Raiders for 3rd place. All right, you got the Chiefs at 1. Chargers will probably get 2nd place in that division unless the Raiders can really bring it together. All right, but the Broncos, I don't give a shit who you have. You got Teddy Bridgewater, you got Drew Lock. It's not looking good. All right, but you got Jerry Jeudy and you got some weapons. Von Miller's getting older. Bradley Chubb is nice, right? But I don't know if I see the Broncos with a bright future anytime soon. Orion, what are your thoughts on the Ravens' option with Lamar Jackson? Keep him? Re-sign him? Take care of him? Give him some fucking weapons at wide receiver better than fucking Hollywood Brown and Sammy Watkins? Yeah, you got Mark Andrews, but you need to go O-line. All right, what you got? Orlando Brown. You traded to the Chiefs, which is fucking stupid. All right, so the team that you're trying to beat, that's like the Bills. If the Buffalo Bills were trying to get to the Super Bowl, you got to the AFC Championship game, and they had Orlando Brown. And then the Chiefs' weakness is O-line. And then you're like, I'm the Buffalo Bills. Oh, hey, Andy, do you want Orlando Brown for fucking Doritos? Oh, sure. And then you give him Orlando Brown. And then that's like the one team that you can't fucking beat. Why would you do that? But the nice thing is the Ravens have 2 first-round picks that if they go O-line and really solidify those spots, you know what I mean? They got Ronnie Staley, who's nice, at the left tackle, and he didn't want to move, right? So obviously Orlando Brown is a general true left tackle. He didn't want to go right tackle, all right? But I'm hoping that they go O-line or wide receiver at some point. And I want to go over some sleepers in the draft so that way I can educate some of y'all on what's going on in this draft right here, all right? Now we're going to do a little bit of magic right here so you see what the background looks like, all right, with the green screen. We're in the NFL draft studio, all right? And then all of a sudden with a click of a button, right? Bang! Oh, baby! Woo! We changed it that fast, baby. We changed it that fast. Snap your fingers. Snap your fingers. Woo! That's how it goes, baby. You snap your fingers, you change it immediately. Let's go, baby. All right? So now let's go over some sleepers. All right? Let's go over some sleepers because that's what your boy does. All right? So let me click over here. Let me move this over here. And let's go over for some fucking sleepers. All right? Because let's not pay attention to the names. Let's not pay attention to the names of the teams because I've been doing mock drafts. But I wanted to be able to show the faces of some of these guys, and that way that we can go over some of these players, all right? Because this is definitely important. We want to go over some of the players, all right? So let me go over it first with some of the guys that I think are true sleepers in this draft. And some of y'all may know them, some of y'all may not, but let's just take a quick look at some of these guys. We already know about Trevor Lawrence, and I'll go through like every position, all right? We know about Zach Wilson, right? He's going to be amazing, all right? Trey Lance could go 3 to the Niners, maybe the Panthers, maybe the Broncos. Justin Fields, the most intriguing process, all right, the most intriguing player in this draft, all right. Mac Jones, if he goes to the 49ers or the New England Patriots, it's a good look. It's a good spot for you either way, all right. Now we go to these other guys. Kyle Pitts got the football from Kyle Trask. I think on the right team, there might be a little potential there. Davis Mills from Stanford. I could see Tampa Bay possibly trying to lock in a quarterback like this. All right, maybe not the next Tom Brady, but there's a little bit of a skill set there. Kellen Mond from Texas A&M. I like him more than Kyle Trask or Davis Mills. He's got a real arm on him. He's not going to go high in the draft, but he definitely has a good pedigree, okay? And then this guy, Sam Ehlinger. We saw all the highlights on SportsCenter, right, from Texas. He slipped in the draft. He probably thought he was going to be, a top 4, top 5 guy. But don't be surprised by Sam Ehlinger on the right team, or maybe a Kellen Mond on the right team, or a Davis Mills, or a Kyle Trask. They're not going to be day one starters, but out of all those guys, this guy right here. See if I can click on him. Kellen Mond. He's my favorite. He's a favorite out of the 4. I like him better than Trask, better than Davis Mills, and better than Ehlinger. All right, Kellen Mond. That's one of my sleepers in the draft. I don't know how good he's going to be. All right, I don't know how good he's going to be, but depending on what team he goes to, could be a real sleeper. All right, let's go to the next one, all right? We already know about this guy right here, the next Jamal Charles in the draft, Travis Etienne. Get his last name right. This is the next Jamal Charles 2.0. He can run, he can catch, he improved his draft stock with Trevor Lawrence. Love Travis Etienne. He's going to be a beast. And then guess what? The best running back in the draft, Najee Harris, Alabama, Roll Tide. I'm hoping my Tampa Bay Buccaneers get him at 32. He might not get to 32. If you're smart, you draft him somewhere between 15 and 25. Beefy McWhat now. Let's go. Can you go over the top 5 draft picks in your opinion as well? I will. I will do that here as soon as I go over my sleepers. Because I just want to educate a lot of the fans. Because some of y'all know NFL. And some of y'all know your team, but I want to make sure that you guys know about the sleepers, just in case you get some of these guys on your team. That way you're like, oh, shit, okay, I remember Ryan talked about him. If you didn't watch North Carolina football, all right, if you didn't watch North Carolina football, you need to get in line and get in gear, all right, because North Carolina football had some studs, all right? And when I say studs, I don't mean guys that were okay, average. This guy right here might be the biggest sleeper in the draft at running back. Javonte Williams. I'm telling you, this guy right here, 5'9", 212 pounds, on the right team, very shifty, a big, broad back. He can run downhill. He can run you over. He's fantastic. And his teammate is going to go in the draft as well. Another sleeper, Michael Carter, okay? 5'7", all right, 201, a beefy back as well. Love them. Another guy right here from The Ohio State University, Trey Sermon, on the right team that could be like a J.K. Dobbins, right, for the Ravens. Look out for him. But the biggest one that I want to talk about that none of you guys know because I'm in the Pac-12, this guy right here, Jamar Jefferson. If you watch the Civil War and you watch the Ducks lose to the Beavers when I did that live stream, when I had like 4,000 of y'all watch it with me. Jamar Jefferson, 5'10", 206. He's got a little bit of a burst on him. You know what I mean? You won't really think that he's that good, but if you saw like the first quarter when he ran away from the Oregon Ducks, this guy has a special skill set. And even though I'm a Ducks guy, and normally, you're not supposed to give love to the heated rival, the Oregon State Beavers, Jamar Jefferson has got a hell of a lot of talent, and I can't wait to see where he goes. So look for those guys that I mentioned. Really, really like Jamar Jefferson, but I think the sleeper is this guy right here, Javonte Williams. This is the sleeper. Next up, we know about the top dogs. Devontae Smith, probably going to go to the Eagles. All right, the best route runner in the draft, period. All right, the Marvin Harrison in the draft, period. All right, Devontae Smith, he might be undersized. Don't sleep on him. The most athletic wide receiver, the most gifted wide receiver, Jamar Chase. All right, the Justin Jefferson in the draft. Draft him, Miami. All right, you listening? Devontae Smith, Eagles, draft me. Jamar Chase, draft me. Tua in the Dolphins and Brian Flores. And then this guy, a sleeper. I mean, he's a sleeper, but he's not a sleeper. Jalen Waddle, Detroit Lions. Hello, Jared Goff. Hello, MCDC. This is a guy that you need to go after. Got a lot of skills. Devontae Smith is always going to get more love. Jamar Chase is always going to get more pub. Jalen Waddle has a chance to really make a name for himself. But really where the sleepers come in this draft is where I'm going to show you right now. Elijah Moore. So you got to think about it. Mississippi, Ole Miss. They produced A.J. Brown from the Titans. Is he a top 10 wide receiver? Yes. DK Metcalf, right, with Russell Wilson. Top 10 wide receiver? Yes. Elijah Moore. Will he be a top 10 wide receiver? No. But this kid is fucking good. I'm telling you, this guy can play in the slot. He can do the route running. He's got good hands. He's got good footwork. Whoever gets Elijah Moore, if it's the Saints, if it's the Titans, it's the Colts, I'm telling you, you're getting yourself a stud. I would take him in Tampa Bay in a fucking heartbeat. He is fucking amazing. Elijah Moore, don't forget that name. Stud. Next one. Sleeper, Kadarius Toney. He played with Kyle Pitts. Sleeper. First down, Kadarius Toney. All right, this guy can do it all. He can go up and get the football. He's a red zone threat, just like Kyle Pitts. Kadarius Toney, a great fit with the Colts, the Titans to maybe replace Corey Davis. Love him. Right, next up, the tall wide receiver, the big body wide receiver, TERRACE Marshall Jr. First down, Tigers. Love him. He gets on the right team, a bigger body, 6'2", 205, gives you kind of that, A.J. Brown kind of feel. He's not as good as A.J. Brown, but he's got that tall, lanky body that can get you some good yards, some good receptions, and I'm kind of excited to see where he goes in the draft. All right, so those are guys that are kind of well-known. All right, Smith, Chase, Waddle. Not so much Elijah Moore, Kadarius Toney, Terrence Marshall Jr. Now I'm going deep with the real sleepers, all right? Number one, sleeper. I mean, like my favorite guy in the draft that's not a big name. Right here. Bang! Rondale Moore. Look how small he is. 5'7", 181. Purdue. He was fucking roasting Ohio State. This guy is intelligent. This guy is smart. This guy can run routes. I'm telling you, Rondale Moore is my favorite wide receiver that's not at the top of the board. Yeah, there's Devontae Smith. Yeah, there's Jamar Chase. Yeah, there's Jalen Waddle. Second tier, Elijah Moore, Kadarius Toney, and Terrence Marshall Jr. This guy right here is my favorite wide receiver. Maybe the Saints get him, right? Maybe someone picks him up. I don't know who's going to get him, but Rondale Moore. Love him. Another one. Rashad Bateman, Minnesota. I had Tyler Johnson from the same school. Do not be surprised if the Green Bay Packers grab Rashad Bateman. He's my second favorite lower name wide receiver in this draft. I watch a lot of tape. All right, I watch a lot of tape. I read a lot of articles. These two guys stand out to me the most that aren't the top 6. Not Smith, not Chase, not Waddle, not Moore, not Tony, not Marshall Jr., but Bateman and number 1, Rondale Moore. Look for these guys to hit the NFL field, and if Bateman goes to Green Bay, watch out. This guy could get over 1,000 yards in his rookie season with Rodgers thrown to him, and then Rondale Moore. I don't know what fucking team is going to get him, but I'll tell you what, Moore is like a flea. I agree, Calvin Griffin. I absolutely love this wide receiver. And then a guy that you never know, Amon-Ra St. Brown from USC. He had glimpses. All right, not going to be as good as Rondale Moore or Rashad Bateman, but another guy, a lower name guy. Keep your eyes out on the wide receiver class. This wide receiver class is deep. I don't know if this one's better than last year's with, Jefferson and all the rest, but keep an eye on a few of these guys, but especially my sleeper, Rondale Moore. All right? Going to the tight end position, we already know this guy could be arguably the best player in the draft athletically. He's gifted. What happens if the San Francisco 49ers, right? You think it's Mac Jones. You think it's Justin Fields, right? You think it's Trey Lance. And it goes Jaguars select Trevor Lawrence. Number 2, the Jets select Zach Wilson. Number 3, you trade like 2 or 3 first rounders, a second round, a third round, 100 draft picks to get to this spot. Can you imagine if they say, Jimmy G, we were thinking about trading you the Pats. We're going to keep you, and we're going to draft Kyle Pitts. I know it's like the chances of that happening is like 2%. It's very, very, very small and limited. But if you got Pitts and Kittle, right? Kittles and Pitts, that could definitely take your game to the whole next level. They got running game, they got offensive line, they got defense, but more than likely for the draft capital you gave up, it's got to be your franchise QB. That's what we're thinking. But what if the 49ers just totally surprise everyone, right? And they just wave that magic carpet in front of our eyes and they go Kyle Pitts at 3. The whole fucking United States of America and the globe would go crazy. But I'll tell you what, you get Kyle Pitts on the Niners with George Kittle, 2 of the top 4 tight ends in the league. Yeah, you got Travis Kelce. Yeah, you got George Kittle, right? You got Mark Andrews. You got Darren Waller from the Raiders. And then Kyle Pitts. I think Kyle Pitts could be the 5th best tight end or better in his rookie season moving forward. He's fantastic. But let's go over some sleepers, all right? Guys that don't get talked about. Tommy Tremble, all right, from Notre Dame. This is a guy that I'm kind of wondering where he's going to go. Zach Ertz might go to the Colts, and that might be a good fit with Carson Wentz, all right? So if you got Dallas Goedert there, right, maybe a Tommy Tremble or adding a piece, to add another tight end. I'm really looking to see what he can do. And there's not really a whole lot of other tight ends that really kind of jump out at me, but Tommy Tremble is the one that I'd be keeping an eye on. Athletic. He can really do it all. Not as good as a Kyle Pitts by any means, but he definitely could be a stud in the NFL. Next up, offensive line. We already know who the best offensive lineman in the draft is. It's my boy, Penei Sewell, all right? But let's not sleep on this guy either. Rashawn Slater. This guy's amazing too. Not AC Slater, Rashawn Slater. We're not talking about Saved by the Bell, baby. We're talking about the NFL draft. All right, Penei Sewell's got all the intangibles. Love these guys. These are the best too. Christian Darrisaw is great. This guy right here, Elijah Vera Tucker. He can go to a lot of different teams that need O-line. Watch this guy to be a stud. Another stud right here, Landon Dickerson, center, Alabama. If you're on Alabama and you play O-line, you're going to be a fucking stud. But one guy, Tevin Jenkins, Oklahoma State. This guy right here, Quinn Meinerz, Wisconsin Whitewater. I saw a tape on Twitter where this motherfucker's knocking over trees, right, and doing all kind of hand drills on fucking branches and trees. You're knocking trees over, fucking squatting trees. This guy has got all the nastiness that I would want on my team. 6'2", 320. Wouldn't mind if he was a little bit taller, but don't be surprised that Quinn Meinerz, all right, if he ends up being a stud, yeah, you got Penei Sewell, Rashawn Slater, Darrisaw, Elijah Vera Tucker, Landon Dickerson, Tevin Jenkins, but this guy right here, Quinn Meinerz, I like this guy a lot. I think he could bring some bring some heat. Alex Leatherwood is another one from Alabama, a guy that's going a little bit lower in the draft, but I still think that he could be a good role player on the right O-line. And this guy right here from Notre Dame, all right, they know how to do O-linemen. Quentin Nelson, all right, they got a lot of different guys around the league, all right, and we also know on the San Francisco 49ers with McGlinchey, all right, Liam Eichenberg. I think this is the guy that I really feel that the Chiefs were really looking on. But you got Orlando Brown now, so you're not going to get Eichenberg more than likely. But if you add him, that would be a really nice piece. So he's probably one of my favorite lower name guys, Eichenberg, Leatherwood. And you guys know how much I love offensive line. But the top dogs, you already know where it's going to be. It's going to be Penei Sewell, right? More than likely going to go to the Cincinnati Bengals, protect Joe Burrow. Rashawn Slater, probably going to end up going to the Chargers, protecting my boy J-Herb, Justin Herbert. Darisaw, I'm not really sure where he's going to go, but I like him a lot. Elijah Vera Tucker, to me, could be better. He's going to be the best guard in the draft. He's a stud, all right? And he's not going to be as good as a Quentin Nelson, but I absolutely love his game. Landon Dickerson, you don't see too many centers that can play multiple positions. This guy has 6'5", 333. I mean, if you go to fucking Bama, you're going to be good. But let's not forget about Quinn. I'm really excited to see where this guy goes after seeing the footage. Wisconsin Whitewater, not University of Wisconsin, Wisconsin Whitewater. Very interesting to see. This guy's going to have a chip on his shoulder. All right, next up, D-line. Christian Barmore. All right, this might be the most overrated prospect, that people are talking about. Maybe not in my eyes, but a lot of people think that he's going to slide in the first round. Another Alabama prospect. If you go to Alabama, you're going to be pretty damn good football player. The only one that didn't really pan out was a running back a few years ago, and you know who I'm talking about it. But he's slipping desperately. I don't know where he's going to go. He's not going to go top 15. He's going to go probably somewhere between 22 and 32, but more than likely maybe even out of the first round. But if he goes second round, someone's going to get a steal. But this is the first draft, right, where we don't have a Jadeveon Clowney, a Mario Williams, a Joey Bosa, a Nick Bosa. We don't have a Myles Garrett in this draft, which is kind of crazy. We have all these quarterbacks, wide receivers, right? But we don't really have that guy, all right? Oweh's a stud. Look for him. But my favorite one, Kwity Paye. And I can see the Minnesota Vikings grabbing him. He went to Michigan. He's got the best name on defense out of anybody that's coming in. Kwity Paye could be on any team and be a force. Love Kwity Paye. But there's other guys right here. Like this is another sleeper of mine that not a lot of people are talking about. Jalen Phillips from the U. Look for this guy to be able to make a splash on whatever team he goes to. I think that he can fit in with a lot of different teams. I would take him on Tampa Bay as well. Those are the main ones. There's quite a few that if you keep going down the list, that might be able to do some damage. Chris Rump, the second, right? We know about Joe, obviously from UW. Tryon. So there's a few others, right? But my favorite one is definitely got to be Kwity Paye. And he's not really a sleeper. A lot of people know who he is because the draft, there is no Myles Garrett in this draft, but he's the one that I have the most faith in out of everyone that's going to be on the edge or a D tackle going into the 2021 draft. Linebackers, we already know who the best ones are. Micah Parsons, stud, the best linebacker in the draft, my favorite position in football, period. Besides guard or tackle on the O-line. Linebacker. I like safety too. Right? That's probably my second favorite on the defense. All right, linebacker, middle, outside, Mike, it don't matter. Outside linebacker and safety, strong or free safety, all right? Micah Parsons got it all. He can do a lot of damage for the Giants. He could do a lot of damage for a lot of different teams, maybe the Raiders. Someone is going to get a gem out of Micah Parsons. The one that's not getting talked about enough is this guy right here. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. This guy can go and play anywhere on the field. He's very versatile, sideline to sideline, and he fucking hits. He fucking pops, all right? If you put your head down, he'll fucking roll you over. So I want to be able to see where this guy goes. There's definitely a few teams that could be a good fit, like the Washington football team and a few others. I'm really excited to see where Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah goes, but two of my favorites that aren't talked about enough, those are the two that everyone really knows. Micah Parsons especially, Penn State. Right, Notre Dame has been getting a lot of these studs, all right, and they're not just on the O-line. They're on tight end. They're on the offensive line. I mean, Tremble, right? You got Eichenberg. I mean, you got, Owusu-Koramoah. Notre Dame is really doing big things lately, all right? But these guys right here, Zaven Collins and Davis, look for these guys to get on the right team, and I could definitely see the Baltimore Ravens getting one of these two, Zaven Collins or Davis. All right, these guys are studs. Those are the best ones out of the linebacking core. There's going to be some sleepers that are somewhere a little bit further down, but those are the ones that I believe in the most. All right, big facts. Corner. Everyone talks about Patrick Surtain the second. All right, but you know who might be better than him in the draft? Joe Horn's son, J.C. Horn. So if Patrick Surtain, right, the Cowboys think they're getting him. Right? The Cowboys think that they're getting him. But what happens if the Detroit Lions, no. What happens if the Carolina Panthers say they want Jeremy Chin, they want to get someone that was like a Josh Norman, but better from back in the day? They would be smart to go for Patrick Surtain or J.C. Horn. J.C. Horn's got a little bit more athleticism. Surtain is the best corner, but I don't think J.C. Horn is that far back. J.C. Horn is very, very good. So don't be surprised if these are the two next superstars. I know we had Okudah, all right from the Detroit Lions. I think Surtain and J.C. Horn could be better, and that's no cap, all right? So Patrick Surtain, the second, look for him to go to the Cowboys or possibly the Panthers. J.C. Horn, Cowboys, Eagles. That's where I'd be looking at. And if he ends up going to the Cowboys, then you're probably going to go Devontae Smith, the Heisman winner, all right? But another guy, he just got COVID today, Caleb Farley. I hope that he recovers. Virginia Tech. I really, really, really like this guy a lot. I think he's going to do big things. And the one that we all know, if you end up having a dad that played in the NFL, this guy right here, Asante Samuel Jr., I would take him in Tampa Bay in a fucking heartbeat. Don't remember and don't forget that name. Surtain, J.C. Horn, Caleb Farley, Asante Samuel Jr., and at the right team in the right situation, Greg Newsome II. Look for him. The biggest sleeper in the draft that no one's talking about is this guy right here. The best safety in football, and I've been saying it all along. He might not even go in the first round, but he deserves to be a top 20 pick. Trevor Moehrig, all right? From the Big 12, from TCU. Everyone talks about corners. Patrick Surtain, J.C. Horn. This guy is the best safety in football. The Jim Thorpe winner. I would take him in a heartbeat. He can do anything and everything that you would want at safety. He is a very, very good player. A team like the Saints could use him. I mean, there's so many teams. Tampa Bay, I would love to have him. I mean, this guy is a monster. He is a fucking monster. Trevor Moehrig. I mean, I think some people know him. If you guys are a fanatic like me, you guys have heard of him, or I've mentioned him, right? But if you go back and actually watch the tape, or if you know who he is, or you've watched him over the years, this guy is amazing. He's not being talked about enough. And I hope maybe the Miami Dolphins, maybe are looking at him, or the Jacksonville Jaguars with their late first-round pick, to pair up with a Trevor Lawrence or a Zach Wilson. This guy would be perfect to be able to be a catalyst on the defense. I would take him in a heartbeat. And another sleeper in this draft right here for my Oregon Ducks, class act on and off the field, intelligent, stands up for what's right, all right? Always does the right thing on and off the field from the Oregon Ducks. Javon Holland. All right, I've watched this guy play front row behind the Duck bench. This guy can do a lot of things. He's not as good as Moehrig, all right, but Javon Holland, on the right team in the right situation, he could thrive in New England. He could thrive in a lot of different situations. He could thrive in Baltimore. I really wonder where he's going to go. It's going to be interesting to see where my boy Javon Holland goes. So those are my main sleepers that I wanted to go over. Some of y'all, know about these guys. Some of y'all, are familiar. Some of you guys are not. But I definitely wanted to go through some of those. Let me go through the comments here real quick, because I know a lot of y'all have been commenting as I've been doing my thing. Beefy McWhatNow wanted me to go over my top 5 picks in the draft. I'm going to do that here as well. Let me see here. So I'm taking notes. I get the sleepers, but need the top 5 as well. I'm going to do that for you, Beefy. I got you. Message from an Eagle Fly. Eagles fly. What to do? Mac Jones sleeper pick. I'm not just going down the list, all right, Ruiz. I'm trying to give the people that don't follow football maybe as much as you and me just a kind of an idea of which ones are the best here. Valhalla Sports. Lynch seemed to indicate they're going to go quarterback without a doubt. Smokescreen. I mean, the chances of it happening and they go Kyle Pitts is probably 1% or 2% based off the draft capital. If you didn't give up 2-3 first-round picks and then obviously a second, third rounder, who knows, all right? But anything is possible. So let's go over the top 5, maybe the final one, because we're going to be going into the NFL draft. So let's do it right here. So with the first pick in the NFL draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Trevor Lawrence, no brainer. With the second pick, the New York Football Jets, 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 select Zach Wilson. Number 3, this is where it gets really tough, that I literally could see any situation. If Mac Jones goes to the Niners, would I be surprised? No. He's probably going to be on the Niners or the Patriots. In either team he goes to, he's sitting in a fantastic situation to dominate sooner than later. I mean, he can go to the playoffs year 1, all right? He's very intelligent, but his athleticism is capped. We know Justin Fields and Trey Lance have more athleticism, all right? It's bottom line. We know that Justin Fields might be the best one out of those 3, all right? Then Trey Lance has more potential, and then Mac Jones has got to be last. But sometimes you got to trust the coaching staff. You got to trust the coaching staff, not necessarily the player. Kyle Shanahan has made it with Matt Ryan, with Kirk Cousins, all right, Jimmy Garoppolo, and he got 2 of those guys to get to the Super Bowl. They didn't win, but they got there. So it could be a Mac Jones, you know what I mean? But I'm really praying that it ends up being Trey Lance, because it sounds like Justin Fields might be out of the consideration unless it's a smoke screen, and maybe Justin Fields goes to New England at 4. You know what I mean? Because obviously someone's going to trade up, but Justin Fields, right? Justin Fields could go to the Patriots. He could end up going to the Broncos. I mean, there's going to be quite a few teams that are going to be looking. But what I'm hoping, you know, the most likely scenario is this one. The San Francisco 49ers select Mac Jones. All right, that's the most likely scenario because I think Kyle Shanahan wants his guy. All right, he wants his guy. He doesn't give a shit what the media thinks. If he thinks that that's the guy that's going to process the information the best in the pocket and not turn the ball over and is a winner, right, then he's going to go with that guy. All right? That's just the bottom line. All right, he's going to go that guy. But I'm hoping this is what they do. San Francisco 49ers select Trey Lance. Because I think right there, that's the best fit. If you have, Justin Fields is not in the consideration. If Justin Fields is not in the consideration, Trey Lance is young. You can trade Jimmy G for a second rounder to New England on draft night. All right, so Garoppolo's out. And you could throw Trey Lance in even though he's raw. He's played 1 game in like 18 months. But he gives you, it really pretty much touches all the bases of what you would want. And it gives you a lot more upside. I mean, you got to work on the accuracy. The only thing that worries me, right, is that he might not process information as fast as a Mac Jones or a Justin Fields, but that's what I'm hoping, that they go Trey Lance. Falcons, you know, obviously if the Falcons keep their pick with Julio on the way out, right, because it sounds like Julio June 1st, they're in cap hell, they're going to go Kyle Pitts regardless. Now, if the Patriots trade up to number 4, right, if the Patriots trade up to number 4, then they're going to go for this guy right here, more than likely. All right, and obviously I don't have them here. We'll go to, if I go to the Patriots, if I can click on them, but I'd have to get to that pick. But Justin Fields, you know, would be the guy I believe that the Patriots are looking at. That's the one that they want. Maybe they're the one that's coming up with all the shit talking and how bad he is. You know, that way that the media is portraying him as a shitty quarterback, that way he slides and they get him for nothing. New England's really good at that. Oh, Justin Fields is garbage, and then all of a sudden they draft him. You know what I mean? And then he's their stud. And you can put him ahead of Cam Newton. Cam Newton can't fucking throw. Cam Newton's done, all right? You get Justin Fields in there, that would be the perfect spot for the New England Patriots. But if they don't do that, right, after we'll just go and I'll fill out the rest of this draft. You know, Bengals, all right, we already know it's going to be Penei Sewell. All right, he's going to end up getting the back of my boy, right, Joe Burrow. Dolphins, we already know where that's going to be, right? Jamar Chase. We already know that's going to happen. Lions, they can go many, many different directions. You know what I mean? But I think that they're going to go this route, and they're going to go Jalen Waddle, and we'll see, you know, how accurate I am. And there's going to be trades. So, you know, let's not get it twisted one bit. Panthers, you know, they could end up going a lot of different directions. You know, obviously, they would have to consider this guy right here, Rashawn Slater. But I think going corner, right, and going Patrick Surtain or J.C. Horn, whoever you like more. I think J.C. Horn would be a better fit for the Panthers personally, because I think he fits their MO a little bit more. But if the Panthers have that pick, right, they'll probably end up going this route. That way they get someone to pair up with Jeremy Chin. Broncos, right? So then you're at this point now, right, where you can go Justin Fields, Mac Jones, but before that pick, right, someone's probably going to trade up and try to get him. But if not, if the Broncos, if they fall into their lap, right, they need a lot of different pieces, and they could go O-line, they can go linebacker, they could end up getting, Micah Parsons on Denver, which would be sexy, right? They could end up going for offensive line, which would be great, like Rashawn Slater, right? But if the Broncos are sitting there and you got Drew Lock and you got Teddy Bridgewater, why not do this, right? And take Justin Fields, right, at the Broncos. You might as well do that. And then, obviously, if the Cowboys don't get their number one guy, they still might get the best corner in the draft in J.C. Horn. Okay? Giants will probably trade down from this pick. I'm very interested to see where they go with this pick. They probably would trade down. They could use a lot of different positions here. Offensive line. They can go linebacker. I would like them to do this move. And I don't know if they will, but I would like the Giants to go Micah Parsons. I think that would be a great fit. Wide receiver, Eagles, no-brainer, the best route runner in the draft, Devontae Smith. Chargers, at this point, offensive line is a need to protect Justin Herbert. You got to go with the second-best offensive lineman in the draft behind Penei Sewell, Rashawn Slater, right? Vikings, easy no-brainer right here, offensive line. And if I was going to go here, Elijah Vera Tucker, bang. Right? And if it's not Elijah Vera Tucker, right, it's either going to be him, but if I would go for my first option, it would be this guy.
He's one of the best in the entire country. We're going to watch him play on Sundays. There's no doubt about
So if I can click on him, Quiddy Pay to the Vikings, I think that would be the best pick. And then at that point, if you're just sitting there, oh, hi, Mac Jones, you might not even have needed to give up anything. And then, boom, you end up getting Mac Jones, right, to the New England Patriots. So you might not have to trade for Jimmy G. It all depends if Mac Jones goes 3, right, or not. You know what I mean? Because if Mac Jones goes 3, so if we end up, deleting this scenario, if I take Mac Jones off the board and I take Trey Lance off the board and I take Justin Fields off the board, and let's say the 49ers end up going Trey Lance instead, which I'm hoping they do, otherwise their fan base will probably lose their shit if it's Mac Jones, right? If they go that route, right, then, if you're looking at, who's left, Mac Jones, Justin Fields, if Trey Lance goes at 3, Denver Broncos don't want Mac Jones or Justin Fields. So Justin Fields can go there. But then at that point, New England knows if they're at 15, they need to trade before 9, probably number 4, right? They probably need to trade number 4 or number 5 or number 6 or number 7. All right, they need to trade with the Falcons, the Bengals, the Dolphins, or the Lions to get ahead of the Broncos. And if they do, right, then they can get Justin Fields. And then I don't think Mac Jones at that point, they would go a different route. You would probably end up going for, a linebacker. This one at this point, you would probably go maybe. Let me switch it up here. Micah Parsons, let's X him out. Right, and then the Broncos, maybe they go this route. Right, because they're not going to go for Mac Jones at that point. Let's say the Giants go for like someone like that. Devontae Smith, Rashawn Slater, Quiddy Pay, and then you're looking at the Patriots. And then obviously they're going to have to trade up. But this is the guy that they want the most, I believe. And then if Justin Fields, goes to 15 or they trade up to 4, with the Falcons to grab him, Mac Jones might slide all the way down to the end of the first round. And if he slides all the way to the end of the first round, maybe a team like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers would think about grabbing him, to be maybe Tom Brady's successor. So, I'm looking for Najee Harris, but if Mac Jones doesn't get picked by the Niners, right, the Broncos would prefer Justin Fields or Trey Lance, right? Patriots trade up and get Fields. Broncos, right, are looking for someone, but maybe they can't get him. Then at that point, if you're Mac Jones and you're not getting picked by the Niners, there might not be another team. If the Patriots pick Fields, you might be fucked. You might have to wait all the way to the last pick in the first round. But if it's between Najee Harris and Mac Jones, I'm not sure where they would go. If they think that Mac Jones could really be the successor, I would still go Najee Harris, but that's kind of how I would break it down. But I don't think Mac Jones really is that good. He's going to be a system guy. So he would fit in New England and 49ers, but I don't think he'd fit anywhere else. Maybe Tampa Bay with the right coaching staff, but I don't want him. I would rather have Najee Harris. So, and that's big facts. So that's just a little bit of my breakdown with some of these teams and kind of what I'm breaking down with the players. I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. And let's flip it back. Bang! Just like that. We're flipping it back to the other screen because, your boy is grinding, doing all kinds of great things. There we go, baby. Like magic. Just like that. So the NFL Draft Spectacular, right? The Spectacular, the Extravaganza is going to be tomorrow, all right? 4:55 Pacific time. If I can get here, a little bit earlier, it's going to take me 5 or 10 minutes to set everything up to make sure I got everything set up properly. Now, with the people that are in the room right now, would you guys like me to do the draft like this? And then, obviously with my normal NFL draft background, or would you like me to do the NFL draft like this as the players are getting picked? Would you like me to do it like this? So that way you guys can see the team names and I can fill them in as the draft is going? Or do you want me just to do the draft in my standard layout? Comment below and let me know. I'm kind of leaning towards this look, the look that I ended up doing the mock draft in. So that way that we can do the pick by pick and all 32 picks in the first round. So I'm thinking I want to see the player's picture. I want to see the height, the weight, and then we can watch it on NFL Network together. But I'm leaning this way. All right, I'm leaning this way with obviously the new look. I'm liking it like this too as well. Absolutely. Beefy Mick, what now? I hope I got all the picks that you wanted in the scenarios. I agree too. I like this one a lot. And like I said, I'm not going to be able to use this one forever, but as far as the NFL draft is concerned, I absolutely love this one. So I appreciate everyone that commented. It does look very clean. I appreciate that. Brute Saint, my guy, what to do? I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. You guys are the best fans on planet Earth. $40 and donations. Yeah, maybe I will go back and forth. I'll switch it up, back and forth, whatever I need to do. But I'm excited to see where it goes. And maybe when I switch it back, I can add a photo, like an action shot of a guy on the other one. So I appreciate you, Beefy Mick, what now? Calvin Griffin, Brute Saint, Tess, Cash Out Hybrid, all y'all in the building. I love you guys. You guys are my rock. You guys are my, the family, the Fanatic family. You guys keep shit moving for me. Fanatic family, all right? Don't forget how much I appreciate every single one of y'all. Tomorrow, I'm going to shoot out a notification in the morning about the Extravaganza, the NFL Draft Watch Party with the best. NWSF Chain Gang in the building, 4:55 Pacific time, 3 hours, mayhem. Who knows what's going to happen? Have a great rest of your night. Have a great day at school or work tomorrow. I'm not going to sleep that much tonight. Hard hat will be on tomorrow, and I can't wait for this NFL Draft 2021. And I got one question for you. Who talk sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics. NWSF Chain Gang in the building. I'll be back tomorrow. NFL Draft is tomorrow, baby. Woo! See you guys there. Peace. Oh, man, I can't wait. NFL Draft, baby.